welcome to this week's Fresh Life. I'm 13 on your side health reporter Val Lego, bringing you a fresh take on healthy living. If you wake up in the middle of the night, you are not alone. 70% of Americans can't seem to sleep through the night, according to sleephealth.org. But if you're always waking up at the same time, you might want to check the 2,500-year-old Chinese body clock to find out why you're really awake.
It's 3 a.m. and you're awake again? Blame it on your liver.
We in Chinese medicine really see the organs as a much broader function.
Vicki Nestico is the owner of Grand Wellness in Grand Rapids and a practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine.
If we're finding that we're waking at the same time every night, then we're looking at the possibility of our body giving us a clue.
The Chinese medicine body clock associates organs with different times of day. Your liver occupies the 1 to 3 a.m. time slot.
During that time, the concentration of energy is at its highest for that particular organ.
But it doesn't mean there's something medically wrong. The liver is in charge of detoxifying the body and mind.
If during the day we're struggling with a high-stress job, a high-stress life, if we're holding on to some resentment or frustration,
those feelings are most likely the source of your unwanted 3 a.m. alarm. Nestico says a meditation app can channel those feelings so you can get back to sleep. Waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., that's associated with your lungs.
If we're waking during that time consistently, it can be our body telling us that we're holding on to some grief or sadness that needs to be addressed.
Nestico says you should try deep breathing to relax you. So the next time you're tossing and turning, check your clock. Not that one, this one, to figure out what's really keeping you up.
And the clock doesn't stop there. The best time to eat breakfast is between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. You can find out more on the Chinese body clock on my Facebook page. And keeping with the sleep theme, have you washed your pillows lately? You need to wash them at least 4 times a year in order to keep up with the zillions of bacteria that are living on them. Researchers out of the University of North Carolina found pillows can be as dirty as a toilet seat when they're not washed. Not to worry though, here's how to clean them. Toss them in the washer and place them vertical in the wash to keep them from breaking down. Then tumble them dry on low to heat and fluff them back up. Here's when you toss them, when the pillow doesn't spring back when it's folded in half. Time to get a new one. As you know, employers are using all kinds of incentives to keep employees and get them back in the office, but this one is truly for the bees. A New York Times article profiled a company that's offering beekeeping as an on-site perk. The company says it's a way to give workers more access to sunlight and fresh air while on the job in hopes that it improves the mental health of the employees. Well, sounds like a fun way to go. We're out of time for now. Next week on Fresh Life, we are breaking down snacks for the kids. Did you know that oatmeal is the perfect afternoon snack for teenagers? I'll give you the breakdown on what to eat and when next week. Hi, and welcome to this week's Fresh Life. I'm 13 on your side, health reporter Val Lego, bringing you a fresh take on healthy living. Coming up on Fresh Life, want to get rid of your lumps and bumps? I'll tell you what you need to eat to get rid of your cellulite. And having a hard time falling asleep? Find out why a spoonful of peanut butter will get you some Z's. Now that we're back in school though, I thought we'd talk maybe snacks. Did you know some snacks actually work better at certain times of the day? Registered dietitian Shanti Appello with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan is here again to give us a rundown on what to eat, when. And Shanti, normally I would think oatmeal for breakfast, but you can eat it in the afternoon too.
Yes, oatmeal is an excellent snack, and of course a breakfast as well. But the reason it makes them such an excellent snack is that it digests really slowly in our stomach. That's going to make the energy be more long-lasting. So it's high in fiber. It's also got some B vitamins and also iron, which gives an extra energy boost. So I recommend packing it in all kinds of forms. I've made a couple of examples here. Baked oats is a great one. You just combine it with eggs, banana, splash of milk, and it tastes delicious. Overnight oats is also a great option that doesn't have to be just for breakfast. Packs in some chia seeds, which makes it a pudding-like texture, but also adds some really healthy omega-3s that's good for brain health too.
And you know, you don't really think about like what snacks you should eat at certain times of the day. Some people are so hungry they just grab a snack, but there are some foods that are better at certain times.
Yes, so one of the things with children is that it's important to pack in different snacks throughout the day. And I like to think of them as mini meals. So things like oatmeal are going to be really great a couple hours before your lunch. You want to pack in some antioxidants throughout the day too, but that can really help give an energy boost if you're having something like a smoothie in the afternoon. I like to suggest smoothie bowls because they're a great substitute for ice cream. We're seeing ice cream is making up more of children's calories as we go on, and so it's a great option for that. You can also pack in some oats, a lot of fruit, and of course some milk to give them some calcium too.
Yeah, that smoothie bowl, a great afternoon treat, you know, instead of that ice cream for sure. These are some great tips and ideas. Thanks so much, Shanti, for reminding us that snacking is good, and so get it in whenever you can. All right, thanks for joining us. And speaking of eating, if you're trying to fight off cellulite, grab a spoonful of collagen. Collagen supplements increase the skin's elasticity, which pushes those unwanted fat cells back in place, creating smoother skin. And that's according to registered dietitian Alexandra Soar, author of Food on Mars. Collagen is also said to give you thicker hair, healthier nails, and reduce osteoarthritis pain. Here's a hack if you're having trouble falling asleep. Eat a spoonful of peanut butter. That's according to Dr. Anthony Young, a Detroit plastic surgeon who has become a TikTok sensation for his health hacks. Dr. Young says eating a spoonful of peanut butter before bedtime will decrease the amount of time it takes for you to fall asleep because it contains tryptophan, which has been clinically proven to treat mild insomnia. Hi, and welcome to this week's Fresh Life. I'm 13 on your side health reporter Val Lego, bringing you a fresh take on healthy living. Your dry, itchy elbows need more than just lotion. Find out what your body is trying to tell you and how oranges can help dry hair. Hint, it doesn't involve eating them. But first, we're all chasing that good night's sleep. But what if I told you getting a solid 8 hours isn't enough? It's also about when you get those 8 hours. Dr. Christopher Morgan, a medical director of Mercy Health St. Mary's Sleep Center, is here to talk to us about why the best sleep you'll get is before midnight. Dr. Morgan, you say it has something to do with how our bodies are wired to go to sleep after the sun goes down.
Yes, thanks for having me. An intrinsic cycle that controls when we sleep and when we're awake, and this is called our circadian rhythms. Most people are genetically wired to go to sleep from sundown to sunrise to align with the natural light cycle, which includes some hours before midnight. However, when you stimulate your body with environmental factors like artificial light, it can shift our schedules later, and you may sleep in a time period when your body's not naturally accustomed to it.
And so light exposure, as you were just mentioning, plays a big role, you know, and it's the natural light too that we're talking about.
Yeah, so light exposure is actually the most powerful thing that entrains our natural sleep cycles and our sleep cycles in general. So it can really influence the circadian rhythms. So when you trick your body with this artificial light at nighttime or avoiding light in the morning time, that can have a large effect on your natural rhythms. And you can cheat your body out of the most optimal sleep time and align with your natural rhythms.
And there was also just one study that says that going to bed after midnight might even shorten your lifespan.
Yeah, so this study was focusing on people of different sleep types, so kind of evening or the night owl patients. It showed that those patients actually had a higher risk of cardiovascular morbidity and slightly increased mortality. And that showed this too. And part of the reason is because the natural cycle of sleep, which is likely some before midnight, is offset by the artificial light and demands of your life that you have that can kind of push those schedules in different areas. So if you have a problem with that, you know, we can adjust things like that by using light and melatonin, but you should see a sleep specialist if you're struggling with trying to sync your daily rhythms with your natural rhythm.
Always good advice to seek that sleep specialist if you need it. Well, thanks for the tips, Dr. Morgan. Definitely going to try to hit that pillow earlier from now on. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
If you are noticing dry skin, especially around your elbows, it's not just a sign of too much summer sun. Your body is trying to tell you something. Dry skin around the elbow is a clear sign of a vitamin C or A deficiency. Try adding more vegetables and fruit to your diet, and be sure to include lots of apricots, oranges, and pumpkin, which should be easy to do this time of year. Looking for a way to freshen up your locks? Try using an orange peel on them. Throw an orange, peel and all, into the blender and apply it to the full length of your hair. The vitamin C in the orange will give you soft, smooth, shiny hair. Thanks to our friends at Beauty Tips for Life for this tip.